Hey, 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 hey. How are you? How you doing? Yay! It's Wednesday. I hope that you're well. Yep, last week I was gone. I took a flight. I ran away. I packed my bags. I got my passport. And I got up out of here for a little while. Um, we need to do that probably more often, or at least let me speak for myself. I need to do that a little bit more often. Get out and get away. So, all right, we're going to be starting Coffee Clutch in a second. I'm so glad that you're here. It's Wednesday. It's 1 o'clock. We're in Chicago. We're at ProFit Studio. And I'm Ladrissa. I hope that you're well. So, I got 1 minute and we're going to get started. I feel like I talk about this topic a couple times a year, and that is competing. Seeing as how I competed for 18, 19 years in the MPC and the IFBB. So two-time Olympian, Arnold, invited athlete, women's physique, numerous pro shows, many years competing as a amateur athlete and beyond. So I think I know a thing or two. I've helped several people turn pro in my coaching career, helped numerous people reach their success accolades, or as close as possible, on the amateur level and on the national level. So I've done some stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about. All right. I just had a person contact me. Today is Wednesday, last week, and say, okay, it's on my bucket list and I want to compete. And so everything that I'm going to talk about right now is not to discourage you, but so that you are highly informed, all right? I mean highly informed, because competing is what you make it. If it is what you make it, it has its ups, it has really. Disconnecting. All right, let me move. I'm sorry, let me move. I want to see the studio. Let me move. Let's see if that's better. Let me move closer to the router. Is that better? I don't know. We're going to find out. So it has its ups and downs, and it is what you make it. It is a very lonely sport. And what I mean by that is it requires more than other people want to give. And let me explain. So if you have a family, if you have small children, if you have a husband, or a wife or whatever, if you have a very demanding career, if you're in school, if you have someone that you're taking care of, if you're a caregiver or whatever, your competition lifestyle will impede upon that. If you are a socialite, if you are, you like to go out, you like to party, you like to, turn it up, it's none of that. It's none of that while you are in contest prep. So the first thing I want to talk about is just expenses. When someone comes to me and says, I want to compete, the first thing I ask them is, you got a couple $1,000s? And this couple $1,000s isn't for me. This is it. I get a very small very small portion of what an athlete spends to compete. You have got, depending upon how long you're in training for, the closer you are, the better you are. But if you walk into a coach or whatever, and you've got to lose 20 pounds, all right, we need time. So you need to pay for your training. You need to pay for your coach, your nutrition plan. If you are not able to cook, you got to pay for your meal prep. These are real expenses. For women, those beautiful strings of material that we wear, those little strings of material with them Swarovski stones is expensive. I mean, expensive. I cannot thank Kim Buck enough. In my career, I mostly wore her suits. I've had a couple of Cynthia James suits and some other suits. And when I was very young in the sport, we made our own suits. We stoned our own suits and all of that because it was expensive and we really didn't have those options. So now you can spend anywhere from, I'm gonna just say $200, and that is for the most basic of basic suits. And maybe you put a few more stones on it yourself or some glitter or, something like that, to $2,000-$3,000. I'm not even joking, not even exaggerating. So you put your budget in there. You got $100 for shoes. That's cool. One of the other big expenses that people don't realize is that your supplements. And I'm not even talking about like steroids or anything like that. I'm talking about BCAAs, protein powder, cod liver oil, H&B, creatine, L-carnitine, dandelion. All of these things, they cost money, and when you add them up, it could be easily, if I say a couple $100, it's not even true, because my protein powder alone is like $35, and I go through that like in every 2 weeks. I need a canister of protein powder. So if you're in training for 6 months, do the math, along with all of your vitamins and everything. So you have a good, healthy bill for just your supplements alone. And then when you get into the actual meal prep, if you're cooking yourself or if you hire a service, it's a grip. It's less if you're cooking it yourself, but if you need to take that portion off so that it's more manageable for you, you still spend a couple $100 a month. And I say a couple $100, it's probably more like $500 or $600 a month in food prep or in meal prep. So that's another expense that I don't think people realize. And then you have posing. That can go anywhere from 50, and I think 50 is like maybe for 30 minutes, up to packages of, $1,000 for posing, depending upon who you're going to for this. Then you have, let's see, the expenses just to get ready for the show. And they're countless, from us women who have to wax, we got to get all primed, hair, nails, toes, we might have to tan, the time we spend in the sauna, the time just to get to the gym. These are all factors that people don't necessarily think about, but you need to think about them. Then day of show, your color. And I've had so many black people say, well, why I'm already dark, why I need color? Let me put this color on you so you can see. And then once they get the color on, they're like, okay, I see. So don't go on stage with no color. I don't care what color you are. Do not hit the stage without color. The next thing for day of show is if you don't know how to do dramatic makeup, that's soft. You know, I'm just going to put on a little of this. Can't nobody see that shit? You need to damn near look like a drag queen on stage just so that your makeup projects. If you don't know how to do that, you need to have your makeup done professionally. That could be $150, $175. And these are just day of show, you know, day of show expenses that you've got a budget for. You have to budget for them. Like I said, unless you can do it yourself. And then if you have to travel for a show, the majority of my career, I traveled for a show. And if you do not have a roommate, that expense is on you. Or when my clients take me, they need to pay for my expenses as well. And I need a room to sleep in. If we're flying, I gotta check a bag. I can't just carry on. So those are extra expenses that an athlete might not think about. Then if whether it's a local show or a show away, you want to have your coach right there with you. Well, guess what? That's an extra expense at the show as well. Oh, let me get to the show. So when you just register for the show, I can only speak for the NPC because that's the only organization that I have competed in, with the exception of this other one, which is called, I think it was TriFit. And that was fun. That was back in the day, though, like really back in the day. I believe that the NPC card, and that's the National Physique Committee, I believe that card is, I think it's $275. If I'm wrong, I'm not far off. As a pro athlete, I pay, I think that the pro card is $300, and that is every calendar year. So you pay the NPC a fee, and then you pay to register for the show, which could be anywhere from $150 to a national show might be $400 per category. So if you see somebody in a couple of categories, oh baby, they got that money. They got their money. One category. What category? 35 and over, that's my category. 45 and over, that's my category. But if you see somebody in 35 and over, 45 and over, 55 and over, 65, whatever it is, they have spent $200, $400, $600, $800 just on entry fee alone for that show. Alone for that particular show. So when you see that, understand that that person came for something. Whatever it is, I always hope they get it. So they came for something, I hope they get it. The other thing that is not mentioned enough is the emotional, how should I say, turmoil that competing can have on you, especially when things get down to the wire. Maybe you have not been as faithful to your meal planning and eating and your nutrition and your cardio and your workouts. And so now you're behind the 8 ball for whatever particular show you put out there and said, I'm going to do. And now you're an emotional mess because you don't like the way you look, you don't like this, you don't like that, this didn't happen, that didn't happen. All these other things start to happen which will prevent you from being properly prepared. And then the emotional turmoil that you feel if you don't do as well as you think you should. And oftentimes, I mean, you are your biggest cheerleader and your friends pop you up, hype you up, girl, you looking good, you gonna win. You're not gonna win. Not all the time. Not all the time. And that can be so stressful for a person because there's only one winner. There's only one winner. It's extremely biased. And if it's your first time hitting the stage, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I'm ready, and you come in last place. It has happened to me so many times before, and understanding that you need to learn to lose as gracefully as you win, and that it's not necessarily a loss, but it's a loss, but it is a lesson to learn to see what you need to do better, but remembering that it's all subjective to who's ever judging and who's ever athletes in the show and whoever did what, when, and where. We don't know. There were a couple of articles that came out in the Washington Post. I believe it was in the Washington Post. And it was talking about all of the bullshit, basically, that I survived through. I did. Never slept with nobody, never couched nothing, never, go see this person, go see that person. Didn't give a fuck. Okay? Not coming to see you, don't really care, not asking your opinion, but I'm gonna get this done. And it's when you put in the work, it's always great to have people in your corner who can help you, but I'm not doing things with you to have that help. I'm not gonna do that. And so that came out, and I'm here to say all that shit is true. It's absolutely 100% true, from the amateur side all the way up to the pro side. And I said what I said, and I said it out loud. I competed for a very long time because I had my own goals, and I love my sport. But things have changed. So walking in more informed and understanding what you're looking at is better than walking in with blinders and being caught off guard. I've lost several people when I say in the front door, just, you got a couple $1,000s? And they're like, well, I could do a payment plan. Well, baby, this ain't all to me. I get a very small coach fee. If you training, I get a very small training fee. If you are posing, I get a very small training fee. If I'm traveling with you, you take care of my expenses. I'm gonna even bring my own food because that's what I do. But the grip you spend is gone. It's absolutely gone. What could you have done with it? I don't know, go to Africa for a month, because it's $3,000 to $5,000. And if anyone tells you anything differently, they are lying. They are absolutely lying. That's how much it is, start to finish. When you put those, them dollars and move them commas and them decimals, it comes out on a local show, and I'm talking, you know, first time out, it $3,000 easily. If you are a national competitor, and so we don't really have, well, if they bring junior nationals back here in Chicago, then you won't have to travel, but I don't know if they are or not, so you would need to travel. And I think the last time last year it was in North Carolina, South Carolina, or was it no, it was in Kentucky. I think it was in Kentucky. So you need to travel to get there. And when I was coming up in the ranks, I had my girlfriends that I would room with, and we would split things so that it would be more affordable for us, whatever state we were in. And it wasn't until I became a pro that I needed some help with me. So now I have to pay expenses for somebody, my coach, my hands-on person to come and help me. So these expenses are real, and unless you have, you know, a lot of points so that you can subsidize your hotel rooms and your flights and so forth and on, is real money that you're spending. So I say all this not to discourage anybody, but so that you can get your dollars together. Because she is not a cheap trick at all. She is not. And if it's something that is on your bucket list, understand that it takes time. It takes a lot of time. You spend, the amount of time you spend is dependent upon where you start. So if you start and you brand new and you out of shape and I'm gonna give a real situation. You 100 and how much was she? 175 pounds, and she said she wanted to do bikini, and I believe she said she was 5'6" Well, at 5'6", you want to do bikini? No. Excuse me, not bikini. She wanted to do wellness. All right, that's our newest category. She 5'6", 175 pounds. She wanted to do wellness. Well, I told her you're gonna have to trim down 30 pounds, and I'm not lying. 30 pounds. Get all the body fat off. And that's going to take time. And then when I kind of went through her Facebook page, because please believe that if you're coming to me for contest prep, I'm checking you out, because I invest a lot of time, a lot of personal time, not just business time, a lot of personal time into my clients. So I got to see what I'm working with. And she's a party girl. She liked to travel. She liked to drink. She liked to eat. And I was like, boo, you might just want to get in shape and do a photo shoot, because you here, you there, you turning up, you got the bottle, you eating. You gonna give that up? Are you gonna give that up? Because I can't magically pull the fat off you without your help. I can't do it. So I haven't heard from her yet, because I always send them away to give them an opportunity to really think about it. And like I said, not to discourage, but to be fully informed. To be fully informed, standing up there with your 15 minutes of fame, if it's 15 minutes, because if you're not in the top slots, you're not getting that stage time, which means you need to do another show to get more stage time. So it can be rough, but this one tip I will say: when you get into shape, do as many shows back to back. If you have the right coach, you can do back to back. Do your back to back shows so that you have your warm up show and you have your follow up show, and you might have your third show. You want to try to get 2 to 3 good shows out of every prep, because if not, you just prep for one show. You got to see it through, unless you are already at that point that you can't, because the last 2 weeks, the last month, walking into a show, shit changes on a daily basis. It changes. I've changed meal plans on a daily basis, water intake. You've got dehydration. You've got all carb cutting, carb depletion, recarbing. It's so many things that need to happen at one time, that you just have to be ready for whatever the change is every single time the change is to occur. If you miss an opportunity to make that change, you might have missed your window. So, and I'm getting a little bit off topic, but you want to make sure you're not peaking too soon. That peak will happen and you missed it, and now your body is back down and it's not where you are supposed to be for that particular show. So, if you are thinking about competing, I encourage it. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of self-guided motivation. It takes tenacity that you don't even know you have. You need to have a anal retentive schedule, tight schedule, especially if you have children, you have spouses, you have people that depend on you, you have a job, you have to balance your day. So your schedule needs to be very, very tight. Also, besides the money, ask the potential client, do you have 3 to 4 hours every day to give to this? Now, it's 24 hours. You got to be on 24 hours, but 3 to 4 hours, sometimes even more, is just for the show. Training, cardio, you might have to sauna, you might have to pose, you might have to meal prep, put your supplements together so that you're not grabbing bottles. This is the schedule that you have to have every single day. There's no day off. There's no day off at all. There's no day off. You will miss a lot of things. Birthdays, because you need to be in the bed. There is no late. There is no late out. There is no, ooh, it's my anniversary. So, it's my husband's, my wife's birthday. So, you buy him a gift, because you can't go out, you can't eat, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's a lot. It's a lot, and people don't know it. So I just want to share those thoughts with you. It was years that I had to wait after June Father's Day weekend. Here in Chicago, they would always have Junior Nationals. And so my birthday is in May. I'm coming up, gonna be 50, yay. And I would have to wait until after Junior Nationals just to celebrate my birthday. because I was in prep and I was too close to have a piece of cake or go off on my meal plan very far. Got to keep everything tight. So there are no, girl, we going out for drinks tonight. There is no that. You just can't go because once you get there, you're going to drink, you're going to eat, and you're going to fuck up. And then when your coach sees you, you're like, oh my God, my weight is up. Yeah, you've set yourself back several days with that one moment of, that was good. Well, it can really set you back, and that's where I'll leave that. So think about these things. If you are wanting to compete, if you got a couple $1,000s that you're not doing anything with, let's get it. Let's go. Let's train. Let's do all the cardio. But and it's not all at once. It's not all at once. It's not all at once. But it is necessary money. Like, you can put a deposit on your suit and, pay it later. You can, get your things as you go. So it's not like you're dropping the lump sum all at once, but it is over the course of the time that you spend in prep to get to that show. That's where that money is at. The longer you're in prep, the more money you spend. So think about that. And I will also leave with this. I've been doing this a long time. And I see people, they do one show, they lost 10 pounds, and now they're a coach, and now they're a trainer, and now, they ready to help somebody else. And that's nice, and that's honorable. But when you're spending this kind of money, make sure the person that you are hiring knows what the fuck they are doing, because that's your money. It's your money, it's your time spent. Choose your organization wisely. I can't speak on the other organizations. I can only speak for the NPC. So that's, I will stay there. I will talk about the different organizations and the differences of them on another coffee clutch, just to give people an overview, because I always send them away with that too, because you need to know what organization you want to be in, and also what category you want to be in. You want to be in the right category. And for so many years, I wasn't in the right category, but I'll talk about that later as well. Last thing I want to say is here, February 10th, 2 to 6, we're going to have open house. I haven't had an open house since COVID, but we're all clear. So I'm going to open up the studio. I'm going to have some of my 10K SB, 10,000 small business, my cohort here, with their businesses as well within the wellness and nutrition sector, and we're gonna have a good time. So light eats. I never provide liquor. It's always a BYOB. So if you want something more than water or tea or something of that nature, then you need to bring that with you, because I'm just like that. So that's going to be February 10th. I have an official flyer. I will post it up. And I'm also doing, I've got so many people who say, I can't fit in, I'm scared, this, whatever your inks is On Mondays and Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m., I have a new client boot camp, and that's running until about the end of February, that you can come, check it out, see what you've got to do, see how you like it or not, and I'll let you drop in once on me. So inbox if that is something that you want to partake in, and I will see you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.